Okay, this is Amazing Toyin with gicdealfinders.info. I want to do a quick lesson on property analysis and follow up. Okay, to show really what we go through when you submit a property and we're trying to find the owner and we do follow ups. Okay, this is the type of information that I want you guys to learn so that you'll be able to do it on your own. Okay, the whole purpose of GIC Deal Finders, even though you start as property locators, my long-term goal is to make you an independent investor so that you are just as good as me, but you're not dependent on me. Okay, that way you could determine how much money you want to make, how soon you want to make it, and when you want to make it. Okay, so this information is very important, right? So you're starting as property locators. My goal is to find out who is actually interested, because if you don't have the passion about this business, okay, you are not going to follow through. Okay, I'm so passionate about real estate. I go to sleep thinking real estate. I wake up thinking real estate. Okay, and because I know it's very, very, very lucrative. Okay, it's very lucrative. It gives me a level of independence that nothing else can give me. Okay, so my goal is to train you guys. I can understand. The training is taking some time, but I'm trying to set up the structure. Okay, such that the training will become easier. But for now, just locating properties and submitting it, and even though it's taking some time for us to get to you, okay, it's just that we have so many people that signed up that are interested in this program, and so we're taking the time. Anyway, going back to this property. This property was submitted by one of our members, and so it's been submitted for a while, okay, and when it was submitted, I think it was submitted as a a drive-by, because the note from the member actually gives some kind of details, right? And the detail is that there's there's a mortgage note on the property. There's a servicer, who is Chase Bank. Chase is still paying the taxes on this property. There's a mortgage preservation vendor, okay, that was sent to the property. I think what you have to understand is that when you come upon a property and you see a notice, you see this kind of notice on the property, okay, usually the notice is put there by what they call a preservation contractor. A preservation contractor is sent by the bank to secure unoccupied properties. When people get a notice of default, the first thing they do sometimes is they just take off, okay, not knowing that they have options. Okay, some of the reasons we're sending you to go knock on the door is to tell them the options, right? Once you tell them the options, okay, they decide if any of the options suit them, to the extent that they will give you the opportunity or the first opportunity to buy the property or help them out. Okay, we don't have to buy every property. Even if we don't buy it, we still want to help the homeowner out. If they want to stay in their property, we want to help them stay in the property. Okay, if later they find out they can't stay in the property and you are their friend and you are the one that actually gives them the information and tells them the truth, okay, about what is going on, how long the process is going to take, what the options are, what help that is available out there, okay, when they decide to sell, or if they want to sell, they'll probably call you first because you've been upfront with them. You don't necessarily have to buy their property. And the reason you don't want to rush and be anxious to want to buy their properties because there are thousands of properties out there, okay, and not every foreclosure person you met really wants to sell. They will rather keep their property if they could. Eventually they find out that they can't keep the property, okay, and that has nothing to do with you. Okay, if they can't keep the property, they can't keep it. I mean, it's as simple as that. This property is nice, okay, but if you look at the pictures, you could tell right there it's been abandoned for a while. Okay, at one point, somebody was trying to rent it. I don't know why. Okay, but so the whole purpose is actually or I think the for rent sign you see is actually in the neighborhood. So, okay, this foreign sign, which is the things that we teach our members to do. When you take pictures, you also want to take pictures of the neighborhood, right? So this foreign sign says actually neighborhood 2, okay? So this member actually did his job, okay? And I want to give him kudos. And if it's, I don't know if it's okay to mention his name, you know, you probably know yourself. His name is William. So he took the pictures, okay? But this property looks like it's been abandoned for a while, okay? So in this case, there's nobody to talk to here, okay? We have some information in terms of the lender, okay? Well, when a property is semi-controlled by the lender, okay? When I say semi-controlled, meaning that the lender does not own the property, but they went back and secured it. They can't even occupy it, okay? The lender cannot occupy a property that they do not have a grant deed on. They can secure the property just to protect their interest, okay? The only person that has a right to occupy this property is the owner, okay? And the owner's name, I'm going to give you guys the owner's name in a moment because it's public record, right? I think actually William found the owner, so let me check with what I have. Okay, cool. So he had put the name of the owner here. So the owner is Matthew Pinner and Hedy Lazcano or something like that, okay? So the owner is the only person that has a right to occupy this property, but the lender controls it, semi-controls it right now. So our job is to find this owner, okay, and find out if they're interested in selling, right? Well, this property has been submitted since, you know, July, okay? And that's why you need to come back here as a member to check on your property, okay? I think the first note we sent in July to William was that, you know, he needs to find the owner's, provide the owner's name, mailing address, and phone number, which he did, okay? But now William, you know, sent a message the other day that he wanted to know what's going on. Well, nothing is going on, okay, because the owner is not there. I just checked on the property right now by pulling other public records through our title company, okay? One of the things we're going to teach you is how to communicate or how to partner with your local title company to where they give you access to the public records, because their access is actually more accurate, okay? It's better than if you go to the county, because the county is a little bit complex, even though they get information from the county, but it's a little bit complex to navigate through the county process or the website to get all the information we need, okay? Now, the first information, once I log on to the First American Title Report company, is this. The first information I want to look at is this. The name of the owners, right? Their mailing address. Why is their mailing address why is the mailing address important? The mailing address is important because that's where we mail a letter to if the owner does not live at the property. When they live at the property, the mailing address is usually the same as the property address. So when you see these two, okay, and the owner is no longer in the property, it means the owner left. Okay, that's why the property is vacant. Owner took off. Okay, so when I go further down, it shows me that this gentleman bought the property in 2008. Okay, he bought it with a warranty deed, right? Okay, a warranty deed in Texas is similar to a grant deed in California. Okay, so I could look up what the warranty deed says right here by clicking on one of these buttons, okay? And I'm going to explain. So right here, look at this. You know, okay, it says a warranty deed with a vendor's lien, right? So which means that this property has a lien on it, okay? That is put there by the mortgage company. I mean, that's what it means, a vendor's lien, okay? So in other words, it's got a property deed and a lien on it, okay? So it's similar to, you know, like in California, you get a grant deed, but they don't put this information on your grant deed. They record a separate instrument called the deed of trust, okay? So I'm going to kind of save this because they record a separate instrument called the deed of trust in California. GSC docs. Okay, so I save this, for the purposes of pulling it up later. So which means this guy has a loan on this property. The consideration at the time was $10, right? But he's got a loan of $442,000. Okay, so if you look here, he bought the property for $144 in 2008. Okay, which means he got almost 100% loan on it. All right, this is the finance instrument. Okay, this is a deed of trust, right? This deed of trust, if you notice, is kind of similar to the instrument I just pulled up. Okay, in other words, they record the warranty deed and also mention in the warranty deed that, hey, you know what? There's a loan associated with this warranty deed. Okay, and that loan is $142,000 by Tri-State Mortgage Company. Okay, now the question is this: why is Tri-State not foreclosing? How come Tri-State has not foreclosed? Okay, well, Tri-State was the one that kind of originated the loan. The loan is now with, most likely, according to the records, with Chase, right? Because if you look on the picture that William gave us, or the information on the thing, it says right here that Chase Bank, okay, paid taxes in 2013. So Chase Bank is either the servicer or the current note holder or the current investor. Okay, so so going further, so this information now tells us, this is the comps in the area. Okay, and the comps in the area range from 106, 127, 125. Normally, when I go to, sometimes when you go to buy a property in the past, when I go to buy a property, I always print this information out. Okay, that tells me the comps. Okay, when I want to go see the homeowner, right? And then I highlight the lowest comps, right? Right here, the lowest comps here is about $99,000. Okay, and there's another one here for $91,000. So actually, let me just kind of draw here. There's one for $91,000. 99,000. So 125, 118. Oh, actually, here's one for 89,000. But this guy, he was about 142. Okay, which means he's upside down. Okay, on the property. Okay, but for our purposes right now, I'm gonna PDF this report and save it. And these are the things you'll be doing on your computer eventually once you become good at this and you receive, all the training that you need. And then I normally email it. The reason you're doing this is that so you don't have to pull this record twice, because the title companies, sometimes they want to charge you for these records, or they give you a limited amount of records to pull, because each record costs them about $1. Okay, I don't need to print it. So I'm going to close this. And so I'll go back here and I'm going to make a comment. This comment is going to come direct to you as a member. Okay, and that's why the website is so important. Eventually we want you to be able to interact with this website on a daily or weekly basis. Because if you have a lot of properties that you're working, you want to have some kind of CRM, which means customer relationship manager, to manage your leads. Okay, eventually this will become your lead management system. Okay, so that you're not buried in paperwork. That's the goal. Okay, so I'm going to make a note. This note is going to go directly to William. Okay, just pulled up owner information. Records indicate that owner left. We need to do a skip trace on the owner. Okay, so right now one of the services that we offer, for now anyway, for free to our members is that we skip trace this owner. Okay, they left the property a while back, but they could still be in the area. So what I'll do is I'll send it out to one of my skip tracers, okay, and they will skip trace him, okay. So so this so for that purpose, I'm just going to print the front page so that I'll be able to send it to the skip tracer. Okay, so I'm going to go back and save this. So really nothing has happened on this property. You know, it's still, I mean, to us, it will still be pending. Okay, and that's why sometimes when you see pending on your property, it means that nothing has happened. We haven't found the owner, and that's why it's important for me to train you guys so you could actually do your follow-up, okay, in terms of finding the owner. Okay, because if you live in Texas and you submitted this property, it's a lot easier for you to drive by this property than for me, you know, to drive by from California. Okay, that's the purpose of this communication back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to save the changes, and that's it. Okay, that's the simple analysis of trying to find out what's going on. Okay, so in this information, we've determined that the owner left since they gave him foreclosure. The bank now semi-controls the property because they secured it to protect their interest, which is the mortgage on it. Okay, the owner does not have a forwarding address because the mailing address and the property address is the same. Okay, the property is vacant. It's probably in disrepair right now because it's been vacant for a long time. The lender is not interested in foreclosing for some reason or the other. They probably got too much inventory, so they left it there. Okay. The more properties they have foreclosed on, the more grasses they have to cut, the more maintenance they have to do. And that's some of the reasons properties remain vacant for a long time before the lender finally get to it. Okay. They don't want to put it in their name because once it's in their name, they're now responsible for it. And if they're responsible for it, when a code violation notice comes, it's going to come in their name as opposed to the owner's name. Code violation comes always in the owner's name. Whoever is entitled gets the code violation. Okay? And sometimes code violation could result in prosecution if you don't take care of it right away. All right? So, you know, so I hope you learned something here. This is amazing, Toyin. You know, so it's one of the lessons that I'm going to put up so that you guys can see how the process works. All right? Thank you. And if you're not a member yet and you are watching this video, you should join. You know, you could join by logging on to www.gicdealfinders.info and learn the process. Okay? There's no other process that can get you money fast or create wealth for you long term than real estate. I know, and I've done this, bought and sold over 400 properties, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I bought them one property at a time, so which means I was involved in at least, you know, I mean, if my closing ratio was 25%, so you could divide, 25% into 400. So which means I was involved in at least 1,600 property negotiations. Okay, because I didn't buy every property that I talked to the owner. Okay, if we didn't make a deal because the price was too high, the property didn't fit my needs, but I did talk to them, we negotiated, we just didn't make a deal, but I bought 400 of them. All right, so that's it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.